Hello everyone, my name is Isabel and welcome back to my personal finance channel, Your Friendly Budgetarian. If you're new here in my channel, I am currently on my financial journey of trying to pay off 6 figures worth of student loans. So if you want to follow along, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and also follow my new Instagram account at Your Friendly Budgetarian so that you guys will be notified as I document my path towards financial freedom. Alright, so in today's video, I will finally share with you guys how I was able to pay almost $137,000 worth of student loans for maybe like the past 3 years or almost 3 years. And these are the 4 steps that I followed, and I hope that you guys will learn from it or maybe apply some of it. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before I started paying off my student loans, first thing I did, or I was already doing, is building that habit or discipline of saving money. Spend money only when it's needed and not wanted, but also you want to save. So before I started watching marathon or having a marathon of videos about Dave Ramsey, I have already instilled in me of saving money. When I first started working as a pharmacist, my money was saved into a checkings account. So back then I did not even know anything about like high yield savings account and all that stuff. So I believe from the time like I started working, and then up until and that was back in November of 2018 up until December of 2019, I would say I have about $50,000 worth of money in my checkings account. So when I decided in December of 2019 to start my personal finance journey, or like paying off my student loans, I have spent about $34,000 in that 1 month alone, in December of 2019, and that paid off 2 out of like 6 or 7 student loans that I have. So that already gave me a jump start of paying off my loans, and basically the amount left after paying that $34,000 was about $160,000. So that already was a good jump start for me. Imagine that $34,000. Some people, that's like the total of their student loans, but for me that is only like a fifth, or I don't even know, maybe a sixth of like the total of my student loans. So yeah, that was very hard. But then at that time, I would definitely say that I think that kind of gave me like the push for me to basically spend money as I need it. And I know those initial sacrifices that you do would definitely be worth it at the end, because even though you would think that, oh, I could have used that $34,000 for something else, even like maybe a new car, like $34,000 is a lot of money, but yet somehow I decided to just spend it all in paying off 2 of my student loans. So that's the first thing. Definitely build that habit or that discipline of saving money. It's really the initial hard step, but I guarantee you, once you surpass that step, definitely you would be able to achieve more in your financial journey. Alright, so step 2 is listing all of your student loans and as well as your interest rate. Obviously, you are not going to know how much you need to pay if you don't know what you're even paying, right? So I know it might sound ridiculous, but for some people, they are even afraid to look at their student loans. So first things first is, or I guess second thing is, face your fear of knowing what the total amount is of your student loans and then from there, have a plan to tackle it. This second step is definitely crucial because it gives you that visual on like how far you are with reaching your financial goals. And it also helps you to answer questions that you have with regards to your student loan. How fast am I going to be able to pay off my loan? How much more overtime shifts do I need to take for me to surpass even the minimum payment of paying my student loan? How much interest does it accrue per day? So those are definitely the questions that I have had when I first started going through my financial journey, and it definitely helped that I am able to visualize and see what the total amount is, and then from there I start calculating like how much more am I going to be in debt. So it helps, it puts you into that perspective, and as well as it makes you also more creative because you're trying to find ways on how you're going to be able to pay off your student loans faster. Now, if you're the kind of person who is okay with being aware of how much their student loans is, but doesn't care as much on how fast you're going to be able to pay off your loans, now that is fine. But as long as you have a plan on how you're going to tackle it, and then how you're going to, live your lifestyle, live according to your, below your means, and all that stuff. So that, it's very important that you list all your loans down, even not just student loans, even like credit card loans, especially with credit cards, it has a high interest rate that you would really think about that. I mean, unless you don't care, but I would for sure care if I do have credit card interest. And then also one of the basic loans also is car payments. So I would definitely look into that and have a total amount and see how you're gonna pay it off. Now, if you're thinking about which one you should pay off first, there's this two concept that I've always heard of in the personal finance spectrum, and that is the concept of debt snowball or debt avalanche. So what is debt snowball or debt avalanche? So debt snowball is the method of paying off the lowest amount first, and then the last would be the highest amount. So mathematical wise, it probably would not save you money, just because there are some loans that have higher interest rates. But psychologically, this has always been proven helpful to some people, because those small wins are what motivates people to pay off their debts faster, and it really motivates them. And because sometimes we get burnt out if we keep on working and just paying off our debts, and then we don't see any accomplishments. So debt snowball definitely helps some people to pay off their debt faster. But with regard to debt avalanche, so that would be paying off your highest interest rates first, and then the lowest interest rates later on. So again, with that, mathematically, now it makes sense, you probably save more money. But again, that burnt out from not seeing any small wins sometimes defeats some people. So I would say, at least with my experience, I have used a mixture of it. But granted that since with the COVID, forbearance happened, so technically I don't really necessarily have to think about the interest rates. And also the fact that the average interest rates from when I remember with my student loans, they're almost the same. There's nothing that's significantly higher than the others. So that's why I haven't really used, I guess I would say I haven't really used debt avalanche. It's more on debt snowball, especially when COVID started. But yeah, with regards to debt snowball versus debt avalanche, it will be up to you on how you would want to pay off your loans. I personally, for me, small wins really helps me a lot. And also, I have also some visuals. I mean, you guys have seen me like color my charts for my debt payment. Those things also help. So without, like, let's say you're using Debt Avalanche, but then you also have visuals to help with it. I think that would probably be an ideal setup for you. All right, so on to step 3, budgeting. So for me, budgeting was basically an icing on the cake when it comes to speeding up the process for my student loan payment. So not only have I itemized how much loans I have to pay, but basically I have for every penny that I earn from my work, I have a place for it. So I always remember this saying from my grandmother. She always says that a place for everything and everything in its place. So I feel that's basically what budgeting is for me. So ever since then, I have basically kept track of my expenses. And for like my friends who like ask me, oh, how do you even start the budgeting process? So I always tell them this is how I do it, or at least how I started doing it, is that I track my spendings for like maybe 3 months. And obviously with that tracking, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, you're trying to like minimize your tracking, your expenses as much as possible, but still like be normal about it so that you would know your average spendings. But I mean, obviously at the back of your mind, you should have that conscious decision of having to only spend for what you need. But if you have to like spend for leisure, I mean, still like keep it in like tracking your expenses and stuff. So at least, again, you can average out like how much you spend for like personal spendings, for like fun money, for like eating out and all that stuff. So I believe like in this way, you're building that habit of saving money, and also at the same time, you're trying to be like on top of your game when it comes to the budgeting process. All right, and so last but not the least, for my last process or my last step of being able to pay off 6 digits for my student loans is I did not contribute to my 401k. Now, this obviously is not going to be for everyone. And again, I'm not like I'm not a certified financial planner or like a professional financial advisor, but I'm just letting you know what I have gone through. So basically, in terms of not contributing to my 401k, this is not something that I just, decided overnight. Obviously, I had to do some sort of calculations in my head, or maybe not in my head, but like an actual paper and pen. And yeah, I was like weighing the pros and cons of like if I should contribute to my 401k or not. Now, I know probably if I would go back in time, I'd probably change that. But knowing what I know now, I mean, at least I think there's still some good to it, because I actually, with that, it really sped up the process. Because again, if I'm not contributing to anything, like even with after taxes, I was still earning a lot. So that really helped me out, obviously with paying off my loans, and also again that habit or discipline of saving your money, like seeing thousands of money just being put into debt. It makes you think that, again, that initial sacrifice is worth it for like the long run. So again, make sure you weigh your pros and cons, and also I remember at that time, because obviously that was like during the start of the pandemic, so like the stock market was like crashing and everything. And I know I've mentioned in my previous vlogs about not timing the market, but the time in the market is more important. But at least for me, I think I wasn't gaining or losing money around that time, and all my earnings was just basically going into debt. And also I was taking advantage of the forbearance, because at that time they said that the forbearance will last until January of 2021. So now it's been like almost 2 years of the forbearance. So obviously I'm still taking advantage of it right now. But yes, granted, with all those factors in, I thought that that was like the best decision for me. So yeah, but obviously since January of this year, I have changed my plans, I have changed my strategy, and now I'm actually contributing to my 401k. And I know there's dips from time to time, but as long as you hold on to it until like your retirement, and obviously part of the investing is trying to rebalance your portfolio from time to time. Obviously, the nearer that you retire, the more that you want it to be conservative. So again, just be mindful of those investing strategies. And definitely, I will probably create more videos about that too. I know some of you guys out here there's a ton of videos here on YouTube, but I would still like want to share my experience with regards to choosing my portfolio, and I would probably do that by the time that I'm ending or nearing to the end of my debt payment. So yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, in summary, definitely weigh your pros and cons, whether or not you would stop contributing to your 401k. And then again, have that habit or discipline of saving money, or like paying off your money towards your loans. Again, as what the finance experts would say, personal finance is personal. It doesn't matter on how, on which ways you have achieved your financial freedom, legally, of course. But again, it's what matters is like the destination, towards your financial freedom. So with that, these are I'm just showing you the steps that I have followed and have done for me to be able to pay off about almost $137,000 worth of student loans. So I hope you guys learned something in my video today. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions with regards to my videos, or to like the videos that you would want me to present next, please feel free to comment down below. And for personal finance enthusiasts like myself, please let me know if you can share with me on how on what ways you did to achieve your financial freedom. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!